Good morning. It's Tony Dattino doing my live with Tony. I am the founder of the USA Memory Championship, and I'm happy to say we're less than a month away from holding our 26th annual competition to determine who's got the best memory in the United States. And that'll be held on August the 23rd at Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. And we've got 12 finalists that came from the July 17th qualifying rounds, and the event was fantastic. The scoring was as high as it's ever been, and we're looking forward to a really great championship here in Winter Park, Florida. But I want to keep going on this really interesting issue of the Harvard Medical School on a guide to cognitive fitness. And it lines up with what we've included in our Guide to Cognitive Fitness in our online course that you can find in the USA Memory Championship. But it talks about 7 different things, and I just want to dive into one of those today. But the general aspects of this are what is your nutrition, what is your sleep, what are you doing to manage stress, what is your purpose in life, what are your social contacts. And I just find that exercising, I see more and more people at the gym that I go to and working on the various types of exercise. So I found that exercising has got a whole lot of benefits from reading this article, and some that I hadn't thought of. But it certainly will help to lower blood pressure. But I find it interesting to see it reduces your risk for heart disease, heart attacks, and strokes. And I sometimes wonder about that. By exercising, how is it actually reducing based on your nutritional habits and what you're putting into your body, and the artery clogs and things. And so when you look at cardio stuff, there's just so many factors that come into cardio, and I know it's still one of the major factors for why people die, and we just got to see that over the last 2 days with Hulk Hogan. And when they had a heart attack, and you say, how could somebody who's so physically fit do that? It decreases your odds of getting diabetes and cancers, breast cancer and colon cancer. Well, that's a good one. I don't know how they made that determination, but I like it since I don't feel like getting diabetes, and I certainly don't want to die from any type of cancer. It strengthens your muscles and bones and helps prevent debilitating falls. It helps prevent weight gain and obesity, and is useful for keeping weight off. It increases your tools to protect your brain against detrimental effects of aging. It rushes. Now these are some interesting things. So each of them drive me crazy because I'm reading more recently. Exercising doesn't help you lose weight, and may not be tied into the more you exercise, the less you'll weigh. So that's a crazy one, but it helps prevent weight gain. But then exercise is a tool to protect the brain. So that's now where I get very interested in that. I certainly want to always maintain my mental health. So what does it do? It rushes blood to the brain cells and forces the growth of new blood vessels in the hippocampus, which is where we house our memories, in other brain regions. So I like that one at all. I go for that one, being so focused on cognitive fitness. I certainly want to know what I can do to improve the blood flow to the brain, since so much of our oxygen, or the oxygen from the blood that feeds our brain, is so important. It increases the level of neurotrophic factors. It encourages the growth of new neurons and maintains health for the existing ones. So I really want to keep my neurons going. Right there's the core ingredient of our brain cells, which then have axons and dendrites, and we want them all to be as healthy as possible. It preserves and increases the volume in areas of the brain that tend to shrink with age, such as the hippocampus. Well, I don't want my hippocampus to shrink because it's where all our memories are housed. And so this is interesting to see that the Harvard Medical Guide to Physical Cognitive Fitness makes some of those connections. The word is I was looking for. It maintains the integrity of white matter, which is fundamental for the transmission of information within the brain. I mean, it enhances cognitive control and impulsivity, improves your decision-making. So, I mean, I know when I have had some stressful decisions to make, one of the things I do is I go out and I run. So that we'll talk about what are some of the types of exercise. So running for me helps me clear my brain and focus and improves, basically what I'm doing. It improves brain activity related to mood and reducing stress. Yeah, I get that one. That's sometimes, sometimes when I go for my medical test, I'll go out and run for 10 minutes that morning just to calm myself down and reduce some of my levels of anxiety. And it certainly helps clear plaque that contributes to Alzheimer's disease. So, I mean, these are just a whole listing of the many benefits that exist from some exercises. Now, the question becomes, well, what kinds of exercise? So good, I want those benefits. I mean, I want to get to those results. So what is it that I need to do? The cardio activities help your heart beat faster for sustained levels. So one of the things we call it is aerobic, A-E-R-O-B-I-C, aerobic exercise, and we certainly know that helps us to put additional oxygen into our bloodstreams and into our brains, and boy, that's a big one. Now, it burns calories, obviously. Cardio, running, any kind of raising your heart rate and raising your oxygen levels coming through your brain. So what they suggest here is it obviously will help you burn calories, but it's a profound influence on the brain structure. It shows that it increases gray and white matter, which helps prevent age-related loss and counteracts brain volume declines in people that may have dementia. So this is a big one. The aerobic exercise benefits young and old alike, which is always nice to know, especially if you're at my age. So we're all benefit, and the mental boost you receive from exercise is worth the investment. And I always say to people, you're investing in your own mental and physical health. So what's that worth to you, and what ROIs, returns are you trying to get from that investment? How much exercise should you do? Well, you want to do some strength exercise. You certainly want to do some aerobic exercises, but anaerobic. You want to do some strength training, maybe 2 30-minute sessions a week is what they recommend here. And you certainly want to do something that's causing either your, I work on my arms. I'm looking to always work on my arms. I'm looking to work on my stomach and certainly my thighs. And so what are you doing? You're doing squats, you can do knee bends. I mean, there are things you can do without having to invest. Stretch bands are inexpensive, you can use those. But something that's constantly strengthening your muscles or causing you to use muscles that if you're just spending time sitting and watching TV all the time, those muscles start to atrophy as we get older. So you certainly don't want to let that happen. And 3-pound, 5-pound dumbbells, stretch bands, there are so many different things that you can do. And then, of course, what about some stretching and some flexibility? What might you do to at least keep your muscles and your joints as flexible as possible? You want to reduce your sedentary time. So what do we do with 15 hours a day? You exercise a day, but spend the other 15 sitting at a desk or watching TV. That's not a good thing for you. So there are just a whole number of things. So with any intervention, the results are a measure of success. When you can quantify your weight loss, and you can measure your waist and your hips, but how do you know what your cognitive needs are? And the best way to determine that, from what they suggest here, is to test your cognitive fitness, refer to different assessments. There's an exercise here. Let's see. How to test your cognitive fitness. Go to page 5. Let's see what they want to tell me at page 5. How to test your cognitive fitness. There's some online tests that they recommend. Let me just see if I can, here we go. Staying Sharp. That's stayingsharp.aarp.org is one of the tests that they recommend. So if your mental fitness is important to you, these are some things that from the Harvard Medical School are suggesting, and we certainly cover all of 7 of these in our online course that we have. And it's weekend time, and my goodness, the days go by so quickly, and the weekends seem to go by even faster. So How am I gonna tell you, stay warm, stay cool, don't overdo the heat. Maybe get some swimming in if you can, and we'll see you back here on Monday.